Hello, I am Todd Cotta, and today we're taking a look at two very similar but very different heavy-duty trucks right here on Reviews It. Well, I tell you what, in the truck world, there are miles and miles and miles of differences in trucks that you wouldn't believe. For example, just like in cars where they have different models, let's say the Mustang has the V6 or the 4-cylinder and then the V8, you have 10 times that with pickup trucks. Something like this. Today we have the work truck 3/4 ton Chevrolet Silverado 4x4 Z-71, and we have the LT, which is actually 1.5 grades higher than the work truck in the Silverado 2500 Z-71 4x4. What I want to do today is explain to you that these trucks start off at about $40,000, $39,000 for the base truck, and by the time you add in 4x4 and you add in the Z-71 package, it moves it up a few $1,000s. But at $44,000, that is a far cry from this exact same truck in the high country version with everything, which is $80,000 for these trucks. This truck here was around 40. This one here, just over 60. But the biggest difference between these trucks is this one has the Duramax motor in it. This one has the 6.6 liter gas engine in it. Same size displacement motor, but completely different motors. Another difference in these trucks is this one here has a 10-speed Allison transmission. This one here has the 6-speed transmission that comes with this motor. What I want to do real quick is go over the obvious differences on the outside of these trucks, which include a lot more chrome when you go from the work truck to the LT package. You have the chrome bumpers. You also have upgraded wheels when you go to this truck. And you have a little more pretty on the outside, including the fender wells have felt in them and some other things. That is the difference. But on the outside, these trucks are very similar. As a matter of fact, when you look at the grills have the same markings. It's just one is chrome and one is not. The big differences on these trucks for the price difference, which when you take a look at the upgrade from a work truck to an LT, it's about $3,500. When you go work truck to the custom, which is the one about halfway in between, it's about $2,000. But when you get wheels and some other stuff that come with the work truck custom edition, what do you get different for that $3,500? Once again, we're going to go back to the chrome. You get you get an aluminum wheel package versus the steel wheel package, and you get a few more interior items for the truck that make it a little more friendly. Now there is the $3,300 All-Star package, which this truck has. This package gives a few more options above that, like remote keyless start. This truck has front and rear collision avoidance and lane collision avoidance with the little light that's on the mirrors as a car's passing you. This truck does not have the active management where it puts you back in the lane like some of the higher end trucks do. But let's go back here and let's start taking a look at some of the things that this truck has different. Whew, okay, so when we're looking at this truck, like I said earlier, there's a lot more chrome. For example, on the scoop here on this truck, you have a chrome scoop versus over here, everything is blacked out on the truck. So you have a blacked out front here, and then over here you have a little more chrome, but not a whole lot, except for the bumper is very chrome on this truck. Coming around, you'll see that it has the same headlight patterns, and this one has the upgraded 18-inch wheels. Over here, the headlights are the same. When you take a look at these headlights to these headlights, but this one does have the steel wheel package. Coming back down here, when you take a look at these two mirrors, they look very similar. But if you look right here, this one has work lights right here. This one here just has a chrome piece right here. Although I never really use these, I guess if I'm out at night somewhere, I can light the whole world up. On this side of the mirror, you'll see this one has a black patch right here. But on this one, it has two more bright LEDs right here. I have color matched here, that comes with the LT package, and this button is the keyless entry. Over here, it's just the standard non-keyless entries here. Working towards the back, we have the same step on both models. And in the back, it's very similar. The only differences you're going to see is black bumper versus chrome bumper. Now, we talked about fenders. Inside here, we have regular fender liners, which is not, I mean, it's great. It's very protective. But over here, they give you felt liners. Now let me show you here what happens with felt liners. We get all kinds of stickers and burrs and all kinds of stuff that sticks in this. But this is the felt liner for the LT truck. When we open the hoods on these guys, there is a little bit of difference. This Duramax fills up the entire compartment here under the hood. Plus, this one does have a functional hood scoop, which means it has to have a water release there where you can get in there and clean that thing out, because water has to not go into our motor, so that's where it collects, right there. The front, everything else is the same. Let's take a look at that hood scoop. So you see inside this hood scoop, it goes all the way back in there. It's amazing when you don't have a turbo how much more space you have in the hood. This is the 6.6 liter Ecotech, right? I think that's what they call it. It's right down there. Big old V8. Easier to get to the airbox than on the diesel, that's for sure. And you have a place for a second battery here. You got a second battery right there. And if you take a look up here, this is a nice insulated hood blanket underneath, but it doesn't have a working air dam, or forced to ram air, so you won't have that water valve underneath the hood. And then we'll come down here, and you can see that when you look at the scoop here, it's just blocked off. They had to put something in the place of this hood, so they have to make a new hood. The interiors are very similar in these two trucks, but what you see different here is there's a little piece of ornamental plastic right here that makes it, I guess, a little neater, versus on the other truck, it's just a plastic matching the floorboard. Same thing here with the door handles and the switches for the windows, exactly the same. Changes up just a little bit when you come over here to the light panel, because all of these control the lights around the truck, and that is not going to be over there. Take a look at the dash now. And then a big difference is right over here in this center cluster. When you take a look here, we'll go back over and take a look at the other side. This truck, unfortunately, does not have a 120 volt plug-in here, but it does have the trailer brakes integrated into the truck. You're going to see this also in this truck. The center console rises up, and you can raise it up again for a seat. And then you can raise up the center portion here to go under seat. In the back seat of this truck, it's identical both sides. It's just that this one here has the rear vents, which is a great plus, and this one does have 2 USB ports on the back, right there. Other than that, they're identical in the back seat of these trucks. A little bit of different pattern on the seat back, but other than that, they're just alike. Okay, like I said, this is the work truck now, and let me show you where the plastic was on the other one is a different kind of plastic here without the chrome strip right here, but the controls are all identical. There's nothing different about the controls, and the door panel is identical. When you come over here, there's a few less buttons here because I have the exterior lighting package, which is kind of confusing for a lot of people, but you have the buttons here, and because it's a Z-71, he has the two-speed transfer case, but I also have a switch going this way that gives me mountain mode.
Right, yeah, I don't have that.
That comes on this one here. The steering wheel is a little different also because he has this cruise control here, and audio controls on mine are back here, and over here have all my audio controls on this side. So I can switch back here to go to different channels, and I can switch over here for volume on my steering wheel, but this one here is more of a basic steering wheel. If you're into chrome, the chrome bezels on mine, this one here is just the black on the inside there, but they're pretty much exactly the same. And then as you look across here to the center console, like we did before, there's just a few less buttons, and it's a tinier, just a bit tinier screen, but it still has Android Auto. It still has Bluetooth capabilities and all that stuff. When you get the All-Star package, you also get the dual zone air control and automatic air control. And then I have a few more buttons on the LT than is on this one here, but this one still has hill descent and your tailgate opener because it has the soft open tailgate also. And USB and trailer brakes right there. The seats are very similar in these trucks, very similar. The only big difference is this doesn't open, and there is no grab handle here, so this doesn't open also. So this is just empty space in here, and I just can't imagine why they wouldn't at least open this up. It's just saving a buck, but they could have turned this into a nice little storage compartment, but they didn't. When you get the work truck, you don't get that. But other than that, very similar interiors on these trucks with just a couple tiny little features that go there. Let's go to the back seat. Okay, we're in the back seat now, and it is just about identical. Now, when you go to the LT, it comes with carpeting, and this is the standard vinyl flooring that comes on the work truck. A lot easier to maintain and clean and last a lot longer, that's for sure. The biggest difference though in this truck is there is no power outlets back here in there, but it still has the vents in the back to keep the back seat cool. And once again, my biggest complaint about the trucks is that there is no center fold down cup holder here between the two seats, and that's the same as the LT truck has, just like that. There is your back seat. And finally, in the bed of the truck, something that comes with the LT package and probably the All-Star package is the LED lighting package. Both trucks have 12 tie downs all the way around the bed of the truck, but this one also has forward-facing LED lights. This truck at nighttime lights up like a Christmas tree. So, if you've been curious about the differences between what a work truck does in this exact same model as an LT, the next grade up. Now understand that this truck here, it's about $3,500 difference between a work truck and an LT, and then you add the $3,300 on for the All-Star package. So you're talking about $7,000 different in these two trucks. We're not talking about the motors. The motor on this truck is $10,000 upgraded from this truck. So we're not talking about that. We're just talking about package for package. We're talking about what does $7,000 get you if you get the All-Star package. So we saw that there was little tiny differences, things that you wouldn't even think of, like folding up the center console in the truck, the keyless remote entry a little bit of interior upgrades, like a little piece of plastic with color rather than black. Now, if you're comparing this to a Dodge Ram, you're going to have a whole different list of things that are different, because when you get a Dodge Ram, especially if you get the Laramie version, you get real wood inside those things. I mean, they're very, very nice. But all we're doing here is talking about Chevy to Chevy. Now, is it worth it? Is it worth the $7,000 difference to go from, or the $3,500 difference to go from an LT to a work truck? If you're into creature comforts, the LT begins to get you there. When you add the safety measures and some of the extra features that come with the All-Star package, now you're starting to get a little more into the creature comforts of having a truck that you can act more like a car, if that makes sense. A little more utility. But the thing is, these two trucks here are the base models in their class. And if you are not rich, I'm not rich, I guarantee you, but is it worth it to go up to $15,000 to $20,000 more for this exact same truck to get 15 cameras, to get auto cruise control, and to get 2 inches more on your wheels, a little more chrome on the grill? I don't know. Some people have to have the very best, and a lot of people shop. And the reason why I want to do this video is because I'm seeing more and more and more work truck and work truck customs on the road all the time, because people can afford those. Real people can afford those. And the LT is the beginning of moving up into the higher rankings of trucks, but still keeps it $15,000 to $20,000 cheaper than the LTZ or the High Country. I hope you've learned something in this video. I hope that you've seen some things that you might like or not like, but nobody ever compares these low-line trucks online, and I wanted to try to talk about the basic two trucks that General Motors does offer in the HD versions. Thank you for watching Reviews It. Please subscribe to the channel. We hope that you enjoyed what you saw, and please come back again and watch some of our other videos. Thank you and have a good day.